Hello everyone, happy Saturday. I'm your digital host, Tatyana White. Welcome back to another episode of the 48 Recap, the one-stop shop to catch up on some of the top news stories of the week, including the end of a DeKalb County manhunt, the verdict of a Lauderdale County judge, a new retail development in Huntsville, the ongoing government shutdown and its impacts, and a Madison County local takes home this year's Betty Jean France Humanitarian Award. And so I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend so far. I know I am. I'm enjoying the cooler fall weather. And so I hope you all are having a great weekend and just enjoying the nice weather before it gets really, really cold, which our meteorologist, if you've been tuning in lately, they've been talking about how we are supposed to get some really cold weather soon. So definitely enjoying it while it's a good medium weather and medium temperature right now. But let's get into this weekend's recap. So, hold on, let me do. Okay. So first, we're going to start with a 48 News update. And so the suspect involved in a DeKalb County manhunt was arrested in Georgia last week. If you all remember, this manhunt started last week. And it's been going on for quite some time. And so he was finally arrested in Georgia last night. And the sheriff's office told us that Gary Childers was arrested in Floyd County. He was accused of shooting at police last week in the Powell community, and he faces attempted murder He faces an attempted murder charge, and he is waiting to be extradited to Alabama. And to another 48 News update, Lauderdale County Judge Jill Self is now facing prison time after a jury found him guilty on 17 charges Friday. And so 48's Aria Pond, she's been in the courtroom for most of this trial, and so she was there and shares more on his conviction.
The trial has been very lengthy and very taxing. Some jurors even walked out of the courtroom crying after the verdict came down. And well, the community members who came here to support Gil Self, they hugged him one final time. Self has worked in the county for decades and grew up here, and he became the circuit judge at the courthouse in 2009.
It's 2 years of torture and 3 weeks of trial.
And 7 hours of deliberation from the jury before receiving a verdict, convicting Gil Self on 17 of the 18 charges he faced.
And frankly, the trial went largely how we anticipated. We're obviously disappointed.
Over the 8-day trial, jurors heard from witnesses, including 2 judicial assistants, a judge, and an attorney. Jurors had a lot to take into account, eventually deciding that no one is above the law, especially the ones that are meant to uphold it.
The not guilty count was on his son, which was the largest amount of money. So when all is said and done, the amount of actual money involved is dramatically less than what was charged.
The jury found him guilty with intentional use of his office for personal gain on 14 of the counts. The jury also believed he was guilty of making false representations to auditors and of perjury. Those are felony charges. For one of the counts, the jury found he was guilty of non-intentional use of his office for personal gain, which is a misdemeanor. Then for only one count was Self found not guilty. Self's attorney Mark White didn't say if they were going to appeal, but he did have this to say.
This is not the ending. Frankly, on the legal side, it's the second quarter. It's not even halftime yet.
Self is expected to be back in court on December 17th for his sentencing hearing. Reporting in Lauderdale County, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
And this week we learned more about a new retail development project coming to Huntsville. And so Huntsville City Council, they showed plans for North Village Town Center, which is a $240 million project bringing retail and restaurants to North Huntsville. And the main attractions so far at the shopping center are going to be a Target and a Home Depot. And it's one of many projects in the works for the area, including Huntsville Hospital setting up a full service emergency room. And one resident, he talked about how he's lived in the area for almost 40 years, and he's amazed by the transformation of the area, and he is excited for this transformation, but is concerned about the nightmare of construction that the construction may cause in this small area.
We've got condos, everything across the highway now. They're opening up about a 2-mile stretch on North Parkway way before you get to the state line. That's going to be a small city, 800 homes. It's unbelievable what's going on. And this 4-lane ain't gonna cut it.
The city plans to break ground on the project early next year with the goal of completing it by 2027. And that's super exciting. And I'm just ready to see how all of that comes together. A lot of new, restaurants, shopping places. I think it'll be a really great establishment for here in Huntsville. And we're now entering into the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. And one of the major sticking points driving the shutdown is healthcare costs. And so 48's Callie Neese, she spoke with experts from Alabama, ARISE, where they say the looming issue of healthcare could force many Alabamians to go without.
Robin Hayden from Alabama ARISE told me that families that could afford their health care this year may see their premiums double or triple next year. Alabama ARISE is a group of organizations focused on advocating for people in poverty. Hayden says many people who are receiving health care from healthcare.gov are receiving enhanced premium tax credits or subsidies to make these plans more affordable. The credits are due to expire in December. Democrats want the credits to extend now. Republicans say that debate can wait for later. That's the main sticking point that has shut down the government since October 1st.
We want Congress to hear loud and clear from people who are directly impacted by this.
Hayden says that's because they are finding a lot of families that are looking at huge spikes in their premiums. With no clear answer on credits, the insurance marketplace is operating on the assumption that they're gone, which is driving prices up.
Well, we have seen letters from some of our partners that said, your plan, which was previously $300 per month out of pocket, is now going to be $800 per month out of pocket.
Adding that some families may choose to go without health care because of this.
Yeah, I do think we are in a healthcare crisis in our state and in our country. We already in Alabama have a crisis of rural healthcare providers and hospitals closing because they don't have enough paying customers. And that is because of how many people are uninsured.
I didn't ask anyone who is directly affected by this and wants to share their story to contact Cover Alabama and ARISE Alabama. Reporting in Huntsville, Callie Neese, 48 News, on your side.
And if you're planning to travel this weekend, you may need to double check your travel schedule. The FAA announced on Friday that air traffic at 40 major airports in the U.S. will be reduced by 10% due to the government shutdown. And this comes as there have been staffing shortages from air traffic controllers who are currently working unpaid, and with some calling out of work during the shutout, and that's resulting in a lot of delays across the country. And there's already been several different areas where flights have been grounded or several delays because of this. And airport officials say Huntsville's airport isn't big enough to see those reductions, but a lot of the connecting flights from Huntsville Airport go to a lot of major hubs like Atlanta or Nashville, so those areas are going to see a lot of effects. And the FAA says this is they're doing this to maintain safety during the ongoing government shutdown. And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the reduction in flights comes down to again, just safety and just making sure that they have enough staff that will be able to fly these planes and things like that. And moving over to a great celebration in Madison County, a nonprofit is celebrating a big win that's already just making a really big impact. And the Caring Link took home this year's Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award, which is a national honor from the NASCAR Foundation. And so the president of the Caring Link, Kate O'Neill, she says the $100,000 prize will help expand care closets. It will provide clothes, it'll provide food, school supplies, all of those great needs for local students. And the recognition comes at a critical time with federal SNAP benefits being suspended and the government shutdown, leaving many families struggling.
This funding would be so significant for our organization. We would be able to put in 2 more care closets impacting over 1,000 more students. We would also be able to set up a resource center to distribute our items to Huntsville City School System, and we would also be able to support our New Beginnings Back to School Readiness Program, as well as some of our other programs like our book fairy and our extracurricular funding.
Yes, so congratulations to Kate. And she says the money will fund a lot of these new programs that she wants to implement in Huntsville and Madison County schools. And so it's very well deserved. I love everything the Caring Link does. I think they do a lot of amazing things. I remember a few months ago, I believe in September, they had like free homecoming dresses and free homecoming suits for students that were going to homecoming in high school. So I think that's absolutely amazing, especially for families who may not be able to afford it, but being able to still have that homecoming dress and suit, like trying on experience, being able to go and not have to worry about the cost of it and still look nice. So they are doing so many amazing things, and this is a very well deserved award. And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at recovery homes from Huntsville that are coming together to help people in need during the government shutdown. I'll also give you all a sneak peek into news stories coming up in our evening newscast, and we'll also take a look at some great events happening in the Huntsville and surrounding areas this weekend. We'll look at all of that and more when we come back. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 48 Recap. This week I got to talk with Angel Jones, who is a certified recovery support specialist. I've had her on the show before for the recovery rally that her and her recovery home that she went to had. And she's just so sweet. She's a great person. She does a lot to help and support others in the community. And so one of the recovery houses that she worked with, along with other recovery houses and organizations and churches, all came together around Huntsville to collect items for people who are struggling during the government shutdown and people who are being impacted by SNAP benefit changes and everything that's going on right now. And so people can still come by to drop off donations today at Lakewood Baptist Church, and that's located at 2101 Maston Lake Road here in Huntsville. And it's an open donation, so they're accepting anything from food to spices to household items, cleaning supplies, can openers, Ziploc bags, Tupperware. I think she said even aluminum foil, hygiene items, clothing items, gas, gift cards, food, pet food. And so there's so many different things. Just whatever you think anybody may need during this time is welcome to be donated. And Angel said that this is just another way also for people like herself who are in long-term recovery to give back and help the community and just break that stigma against people who are in active addiction or currently in long-term recovery.
Throughout the year, a lot of times what's important is to, is to reduce the stigma.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I believe that what happens is that the recovery community is a sub-community where it can be misunderstood that we're trying to be productive members of society,
Mm-hmm.
right? And productive members of society is not just paying bills
Mm-hmm.
and getting a job and repairing those broken relationships in the community and in the family. It's giving back. Because we once, as the recovery houses and the recovery community, what we did is that we actually terrorized our community. We terrorized our families, and we know that. And so we want to give back, and we want to be able to, be a part of.
Yes, Angel is amazing, and what these recovery houses and organizations are doing for the community is awesome, and the donation drive is going to be so helpful for so many people during this time. And so the donation drive is today. It's starting at 2 p.m., so it's already started, but it's going to be going on for quite a couple of hours at Lakewood Baptist Church here in Huntsville. And again, people can still drop off donations today, and anyone is welcome to come by and get whatever they need from the donation area that they'll have set up at Lakewood Baptist Church. And also, Angel mentioned that Lakewood Baptist Church, they have a food closet, a medical closet, and a clothes closet throughout the year for those who can't make it today to get donations, or if you just want to donate at any time. Lakewood Baptist Church has these different closets that they keep filled throughout the year, which I think is so great because I feel like food, medicine, clothes, those are like the top 3 essentials that people probably need. So I think that that's something great that you can utilize. And I also love that she mentioned like Tupperware and Ziploc bags, because she talked about how sometimes people don't think about how people are getting all this food, but then they don't have a place to store it. And so it's great to be able to donate Tupperware and Ziploc bags so people can store any food that they get and be able to save it for later time, or be able to store it properly. And I also loved how she brought up like clothes, pet food, gas cards. I feel like these are kind of things we don't think of as much to get. So I think all of these are great. So that's why they made it an open donation for anybody to be able to donate whatever people may need during this time. And so if you want to find out more ways on how to connect with Angel Jones, or more about the donation drive, or the mission of some of these recovery houses just throughout the year, the full 40 Now interview is available to watch at WAFF.com under the digital shows tab. And so now we're going to just look at a few stories coming up and a few stories to look out for in our evening newscast. So earlier this morning, one person was killed in a shooting in North Huntsville, and Huntsville police said that they received the call about the shooting at around 1 a.m. or just before 1 in the morning. And they arrived on the scene. They found a person who had died due to a gunshot wound. And they did confirm that they had a person in custody and that there's no ongoing threat to the public. But HPD, they just updated us a few minutes ago, and they said after further investigation, the man who was shot, he was attempting to break into someone's home. And they identified that man who was killed as 25-year-old Justin Davis. So tune into our evening newscast to hear more details on this story and many others. And if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, check out the Diwali celebration today at 4 p.m. at James Clemens High School. There will be a lot of food, fun, and cultural performances, and you can visit hiaweb.org to get your tickets for this event. And I think Diwali is such a great time. It's so much fun to go to this. I know 2 years ago when I was in grad school, I did a little mini feature piece on an Indian dance group for Diwali, and it was just so fun, going to their rehearsals and just seeing just the energy and just the creativity, and then also being able to go to the big event where multiple different dance groups perform for Diwali. And so it's such a great celebration. So I would definitely recommend going to this or any Diwali celebration if you can. But yeah, it's definitely a great time. And also Mid-City is hosting their holiday market. And so you can check out over 150 local vendors, live music, Santa, several special characters will be visiting at this market. And so that will be tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And I think it's so fun. My favorite time of the year. I love Christmas and just, all the Christmas lights and decorations and the Santa and all that great stuff. So this will be something so fun for the whole family. And I know that they'll probably have a lot of great different things out there from the local vendors for you to check out. So that'll be a great event to check out this weekend. And also Huntsville Havoc season is back in full swing. So you can check out the Havocs versus Birmingham Bulls at the VBC Arena tomorrow at 5 p.m. And they're doing a special for military personnel. And so military personnel, whether you're active duty or not, you can get a $10 ticket for yourself, and then you can get some tickets for your family, up to 4 tickets as well. And then each purchase from military personnel will include a $10 gift card. So definitely check that out if you can. It'll be a great time. And there are just so many great events happening this weekend. Lots of holiday celebrations, getting into the holiday spirit, cooler weather. So definitely just go out, enjoy yourself, enjoy all the different festivities. And don't forget that the Veterans Day Parade is coming up on Tuesday. It will start at Veterans Memorial Park in downtown Huntsville, and the parade is set to begin at 11 a.m. So if you're planning on attending, there will be street closures near the parade route. And so those closures, they're going to happen in phases beginning at 8 a.m. and then all the streets will be closed by 10:30, and then the roads are supposed to be reopening by 1 p.m. that day. And so if you want to see a list of closures, you can check out the story we have on the Veterans Parade on WAFF.com. And if you can't make it out there, you can watch it right here live on WAFF 48. And anytime throughout the week, if you're looking for a fun or good event to go to, you can always check out Huntsville.org's event tab and WeAreHuntsville.com's event calendar to see more events happening in the area. And that's all I have today for the 48 recap. Thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to tune into 48's Weather Extra segments. Our meteorologists go live every Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. and every Saturday and Sunday at 8:15 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. And so meteorologist Jeff Denoyers will join you all here at 4:30 today for another edition of Weather Extra. He'll probably talk about a lot of the cold weather coming in, and so I'm 100% not ready for that. I like the in-between weather when it's not too hot, not too cold like it is today. A good like 70 degrees or so I think is okay. So not ready for that, but Jeff will definitely talk a lot about just that colder weather that's supposed to be coming in sometime this week. So be sure to tune into that and to hear more. And the Weather Extra segments, they're just another way to give you all extra insights on the latest weather forecast. And so make sure to download our 48 apps and follow us on our Facebook and YouTube channels so you don't miss any updates on the news and weather. And if you would like to stay connected with me throughout the week, please be sure to follow my Facebook page at Tatyana White, WAFF 48. I would love to connect with you all. I'd love to talk with you all. So please just reach out anytime throughout the week if you would like to. And take care, everyone. Stay safe. Enjoy some fresh air today. And I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.